Hello everybody, it is Monday the 2nd of February. I want to do a little recap here to say again where I am at the moment, what my thoughts are about what it is we are and what it is we're in, and what it is we're doing or should be doing, and what I believe the truth of all of this actually is. Because there have been a lot of views, especially the last video suddenly took off, and there are a lot of people that come new to what it is I'm saying. There are a lot here that have been with me for a while, that went with me through the development of the thoughts that I had to the point that I'm at now. But there are many that are jumping in now and probably don't quite see where it is I am at in this. So I am talking about the way that humanity should organize itself as a structure in the physical, and I am talking about us as beings of energy, here, now, in this world, not in another dimension, not somewhere else, but right here and right now we are beings of energy. And that is what we have forgotten. And I want to get out of the false teachings of the one Creator God. You know, the one massive consciousness that does it all. And we are just like puppets on a string. We're not that. We have choice, we have free will, we are co-creators in this world. Now again, the darkness, the great delusion that we are in, and we are, that is the biblical great delusion that we are in, is the thought of the one Creator God. That is the delusion, that is the falsehood. When I just got comment saying whether I'm basing my things on what Frank Jacobs is saying. I hadn't actually listened to him for a long time, and I was actually looking up what is he actually saying at the moment. I didn't know. And he is telling the Gnostic story as in Sophia and the other aeons being beings. Apparently now they're located somewhere in the center of the universe, of our universe or something like that. Yeah, whoever thinks of Sophia as a being is on the completely wrong path. Sophia is not a being. Sophia is part of consciousness. It is wisdom, and wisdom is and should be, it's sadly lacking at the moment. Wisdom should be a part of consciousness, And everything that is created by consciousness. Sophia is one part of that. But that is within you. The Gnostics looked within. They saw themselves. They saw their own consciousness. They saw the building blocks of their own consciousness. The different parts that are contained in consciousness that interact with one another to create a knowing. But everything that is taught, even now, when we go back to the old Gnostic stories and people like Frank Jacobs come up with, oh, it's somewhere out there. There are mighty beings out there that do it all. There is one Creator God, Yaldabaoth, in the Astrozone that does it all. We're going toward there's the architect of the Matrix that does it all. Everything, the truth is out there. The truth is one mighty being. The truth is the one consciousness being that creates all. That is a delusion. That is the falsehood. Whatever story you create out of that, whatever form you give that, it doesn't matter. It's false. It's a lie. There is not one being or beings out there that create all. It doesn't exist. Now, what the Gnostics said was that there was a fall, the wisdom fell. Wisdom fell out of all the parts of consciousness and created on its own. And that was a fall. But that fall, again, the fall of wisdom is within yourself. That is not beings in the middle of the universe or something that are doing it. It's happening within you. The fall of wisdom is happening inside of you. And it was the fall of wisdom that created the idea, the thought of the one creator being. It created a delusion. It creates a delusion within the being itself, like Yaldabaoth is not something in the Astrozone. There are tons of Yaldabaoths running around in this world that have fallen from wisdom. Yeah, it's something that's happening within themselves, and they're suddenly standing there saying, I'm the only one. I'm the appointed one, or I don't know what. I'm the creator of all. It's happening within the being, and it creates the being. It creates a bloody narcissistic megalomaniac. It's a fall from wisdom within the being itself. That is what that is talking about. There's nothing out there that is the creator of all. It does not exist. It came into that thought came into being through a fall of wisdom. And it is not, again, it is religious. That is religion. Religion is a fall from wisdom. Into ignorance, into darkness, into not knowing what the hell is going on. Believing on a falsehood. That is religion. And we say we all must get out of religion. Yeah, that's what we must get out of. And it is not evidence-based. You must believe. That is what they say. You must believe on that one being. Because they can show no evidence for that. The truth is in this world. The truth is within you and all around you. This world is created by all that have their being in it. And if you go with the Hermetic knowledge, that was before the fall into ignorance. If you go with the Hermetic knowledge, it said everything is consciousness. So if you say this world is created by one unimaginable consciousness, yes, it is. But it is not one being, it is every being, the consciousness of every being in this world that is creating the whole. From the mineral to the vegetative to the animal to man. It is the consciousness of the cockroach, the tree, the bird, the whale, the everything that comes together to create one world, every part being a co-creator to some extent in the creation of the whole. And that is the great consciousness that has created this world, because it's not because it's one great thing, because it is made of many, of gazillions. That is the greatness of this world. That is the great consciousness that has created this world. All. So that's the first thing that we really must become aware of again. We've forgotten. We were driven into this belief of the one, which is a fall from wisdom. It is not evidence-based. And the other thing, I had a comment saying, well, if I go with what Jesus said and did about us being powerful being, about us having divinity within us being beings of energy, as I said, we are. We are that right now. And again, there's plenty of evidence in this world. You really have to shut your eyes to everything to say it's not here. We know we have evidence for things that are done on the spirit. Healing, remote viewing, telepathy, even just box standard intuition. Yeah, look on a very low level. That is on the spirit. Yeah? And that is here and that is now. Channeling. People do these things and know they don't have to drop dead to do it first. You know, they do it whilst they are in the body, whilst they are alive in this world. Here and now. Not after death, not in another dimension, not I don't know where. Here and now in this world. Whilst they are in a solid body, they are beings of energy. And we say we have forgotten who we are. That is what we have forgotten. Or that is the knowledge that we were driven out of. That is the knowledge that we were put in fear of. Being said it's sinful, or, God will punish you if you are a divine being, because he's the only one, apparently. Again, the belief of the one that will punish you if you think that you are a being of energy. I read Carl Jung and he said, humanity is afraid of its own divinity. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're afraid of our own divinity. And not without reason. Those that proclaimed their own divinity were tortured and burned at the stake. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that didn't have consequences. But we were traumatized, and that fear is now within us. And we dread to go there. But we must snap out of that. And when we say, expanding our awareness, is expanding into the truth of what we actually are. We're not leaving this planet, we're not leaving this world, we're not even leaving ourselves. We're just expanding into the fullness of what it is we actually are. And that is not transcending, ourselves or this world. Because the spiritual is a part of this world as a whole, as well as the solid. We're not getting out. We don't have to get out. We only have to become the fullness of what it is we are and what this world is. Even the animal, probably more so than we do at the moment, a lot of knowledge that they have does not come through their physical, through their five senses. They know beyond that. They can sense. They can feel. They know on a different level. And that is on every level in this world. Every being that has its being here has got that ability to some extent. So this is not otherworldly. This is not transcending this world, that is knowing this world in its fullness again. The parts of this world that we have forgotten. The parts of ourselves that we have forgotten. We need to find our own truth again and not be afraid of it. There's nothing wrong. Say there's nothing there that will punish us. There are obviously those in this world that want to suppress that knowledge. That is the knowledge they are suppressing. Have done since Rome. Rome destroyed the spiritual knowledge, driven us into the knowledge of only the solid, which is a lie. We are not just solid. But they have driven us into it, and we are trapped. Well, no, for a while there we were trapped in that perception, which is not the truth. So to get out of that perception, yes, into the true knowledge of ourselves, we need nothing coming from anywhere else to tell us that we are that. Yeah, there's nothing. If there are others out there that's so much greater than us, then it's only because they know their own truth and we don't. They are enlightened to the knowledge of themselves, where we are in darkness about ourselves. And I mean, I don't know what you think is out there, or what people think is out there. Yeah? Or the Pleiadians, or the Orions, or all those great beings that are out there. What do you think they are doing? Do they have societies? Do they have families? Do they have to do something to sustain themselves? I mean, everything that is in existence has to somehow sustain itself. Even if they are beings that are just energy, without any solid body, energy has to sustain itself. It has to flow, it has to do things, it has to be sustained. So what do? It is, people are looking at this and they're going to a higher place of consciousness to look down on it all, zooming out, say, oh, this is all pointless. This is pointless. Yeah? And they're only just above it, looking at it and saying, this is pointless. But there's a little point in the bloody heavens somewhere. The point is there. How the hell do you know the point is there? All you know is there's a little dot on the star. You are denying what is all around you and what you're in, and you're believing on a little dot somewhere that you know nothing about. Oh, that is so much greater. As below, so above. The same thing is repeating itself over and over and over again. It may take different forms, but in essence, the grass might be purple on the other side, but it's still grass. And the thing is, you are what you are. You are in your own delusion. You don't know what you are, and you will take that ignorance with you. You can't get away from it by moving somewhere else, because it is within you. And that is where we have to correct it, within ourselves. We can't get away from it because we can't get away from ourselves. That's the one thing that will always be with us. Even if you run to the other end of the universe, it will still be there. So that is where I'm at the moment. Yeah? This world is created by an unimaginable consciousness, yes, because it is the consciousness of all. And you would need to know the consciousness of all to know it, and you can't. I mean, we barely know our own. Never mind everything else. That is the greatness. It's not one being, it's all beings coming together to create a world. The idea of the one that is creating all was a fall of wisdom into ignorance, and that ignorance was perpetuated. So that we are all now in the delusion of believing on the one. That is the delusion. And I said we don't have to transcend this world, because that truth of ourselves is a part of this world. It's a part of us, it is a part of this world. We don't have to get out of this world. We just need to have the fullness of the knowledge of this world. We only know a very little part of it now, which is the solid. The rest exists. It's here already. We don't have to go anywhere to find it. And that knowledge was in this world. If there were healers like the Assyrians, they knew the spiritual. They could work their energy body. There were channelers, there were beings in contact with other beings, channeling, that is on the spirit. That knowledge was in this world and they were working it. Human beings were working their energy body. There were schools that were teaching that. That was a part of our reality before the materialistic beast that was Rome did away with it. All we need to find is the truth of ourselves. Become the fullness of ourselves again. Get out of the delusion. Get out of the false story. And as I said, it doesn't matter how you put it. You know, what is where creating it all. Yeah, the Beos, the aeons, beings in the middle of the universe or something. The creator of the matrix. As long as you say it's out there, you're being pointed away from the truth, which is in here. Anyway, here, this is where I'm at. And we need to find the way into the fullness of our own truth again. We need to find a way. That is what we need to find, a way to be what we are. To know what we are and to be that. Anyway, here folks, I leave it at that for today. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah? To those that are new to my channel or new to my videos, this is my foundational thought. We need to somehow find a way back to our own truth. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.